Hello everyone, it's Cassie and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is my August wrap up. I'm actually filming this in the future because I apparently have never been on live television before, but I apparently also never filmed an intro for this. So as per usual, we'll do my wrap up vlog style and I'll talk to you as I finish each book. Spoiler alert, August was a good reading month. I read quite a bit and it might have been the most books I've read in a month this year, so love that. But if you enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe and give it a big thumbs up. Both of those mean the absolute world to me, and let's just get into it. Well, it's not technically August yet. I did finish my first book for my August TBR already. I finished reading The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J Maas. I actually read it all in the last 18 hours and I ended up really enjoying this one. I'm reading it as the first book in the Throne of Glass series, prequel kind of thing. I know there's big debate about when you should read this, but I'm reading it first and I've already read it, so you can't change my mind now. This follows Celaena, who is her kingdom's most feared assassin. This is 4 or 5 short stories that kind of give you a background. 5 short stories that give you a background to her, why she is the way she is. To a certain extent, we still don't know everything about her, but for me, I'm hoping it just sets up the rest of the series, and then I have a connection to her early on, which I know is why some people say to read this first, because then you get her a little bit more. You don't hate her maybe as much as you would if you didn't read this first. I don't know. That's the vibe I've gotten from some people when they say why to read this first. So I enjoyed it. I give it 5 stars on Goodreads. Read it really fast. I listened to the audiobook and that's definitely the way to do it, 1000%. And I'm glad I'm already finishing a book on my August TBR. Even if it's ahead of time, I don't care because I have 7 or 8 books on my TBR and I don't really want a punishment for September, so. But yeah, I'm excited to continue on in the series, and it was a really good start to my August TBR. I haven't finished another book yet, but I do have a little mini book haul for you, so let's just do that instead. It's just 2 books, but I have Pucking Around by Emily Rath. The reason I've wanted to pick this up, but I kind of thought that I was just gonna read it on Kindle Unlimited. I think it's still on there. If you can see here, signed by the author. So I had to pick it up. I had to. I don't know when I'm ever gonna have another chance to get a signed copy from her, so I had to. This was a pre-order. Is The Grandest Game, Indigo exclusive edition by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. The newest addition to, it's the same, I thought that would have something cool on it. I think it's the same world as Inheritance Games. Well, I know it's the same world as the Inheritance Games, but just a new spin-off series. So this is the Indigo exclusive cover. I can't remember what color the other one is. Maybe blue. That might actually be nicer. What color was it? I'll put it up. I'm excited to read both of these. Don't know when I'll get to either of them. Especially Grandest Game, because I still have to read another book in the series before I do that. But hopefully I'll be back soon with another finished book. Hello, it is the 4th. And I finished my second book of my August TBR, which was good. I read Funny Story by Emily Henry, and I'm so glad I did. For a while, I didn't have a super interest in reading more of Emily Henry's books. I just felt maybe they weren't gonna be for me, so I wasn't buying them. When Happy Place, the paperback edition came out, I was maybe I should give this a chance because I feel this would be a really good like the premise is good, even though people aren't loving it. The only Emily Henry that I've read is People We Meet on Vacation, and I really liked it, so I don't know why I thought maybe I wouldn't like some of her other books. But on a whim, I put Funny Story on hold at my library. Came in, that's why I listened to it, and I'm so glad I did. It was so good. I'm giving it 5 stars, and I really was not expecting to. Going in, we follow Miles and Daphne, who were both engaged and getting ready to get married, when everything changed because their fiancés, who were best friends growing up, decided that they wanted to be together, so they broke off their engagements to be together. Daphne moved in with Miles because she needed a place to live. They weren't close at all at that point, like they knew each other, but they weren't close. They slowly start becoming friends, but when they find out that their exes are engaged and getting married and they've gotten an invite to this wedding, everything changes and they kind of fake date in order to show that they don't care about their exes being together. And it grows from there. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I liked both of the characters. Miles was like a really good love interest. Also really liked the friendships and the family discussion in this. It actually made me like tear up a couple times. So it really hit for me. I really, really enjoyed this one. I'm glad I listened to it on audiobook. I feel like that was like the best way for me to listen, or me to consume it. And I think this honestly might end up being on my favorites of the year. So I'm so happy I read it. Like, it's so good. If you're thinking about reading it, definitely read it. I really enjoyed it. So that is one more book off of my TBR. I still have 5, which is not great, but you know what? Let's knock it off of my to-do list. But I'm on the 4th of August and I've already read 2. To be fair, both of those were audiobooks, and I don't have audiobooks for any more of my reads. It's August 11th and I finished another book. This one was not on my radar like at all, but I read Happy Place by Emily Henry, which, funny story, just made me want to read this. Like, it moved it up my TBR like a lot. Then I had to skip the line audiobook at my library, so it worked out perfectly. This was another one that I really, really enjoy from Emily Henry, so I'm super excited about it. It follows Harriet and Wynne, who were together for a decade and they were engaged. They broke off the engagement and they're a part of the same friend group, and they've been hiding that they broke off this engagement, but now they have to go to the cottage that they go to every summer. And when they get there, they find out that this will be their last summer there because the cottage is being sold, and so they don't want to ruin these last memories there, and they decide to just keep fake being together, and they will tell them, their friends, after this weekend or this week. They just can't deny that there's feelings still there, but they do have like their issues to get over from why they split up. Again, really like this one. I'm gonna give this one 5 stars too, so that's a win. Emily Henry is on a roll, so I'm really happy about that. It's August 19th and I read another book yesterday, so I needed to come on here and do a little update for you. So I just smacked myself with this, but I read Heartstopper Volume 5 finally. I've been putting this off because I'm like, oh, I want to wait to read it when I am doing like a 24-hour challenge, like 24-hour readathon, something. But I don't know when I'm gonna have the time to do that next, and I want to read this. And it was on my August TBR. If you have never heard of Heartstopper, this one's a series about Nick and Charlie, who are teenage boys that are just finding themselves, and each volume kind of tackles different subjects, from coming out, bullying, eating disorders. This one is a lot of focuses on going to university or going to college and long distance relationships. All of the volumes are really good. This is the second to last volume. The 6th one will be the final one. I don't know if there's a date for when that's coming out, but it always makes me feel good when I'm caught up on a book series. So This is just another way I'm giving it 5 stars. I think I've given every volume of it 5 stars. It's just like a cute series. 4 books left on my TBR and 10 days, so wish me luck. But one more down. I feel like I'm having a really successful reading month, like really good reads, so we love that. Another book down for August. I almost said September. Not yet. Don't rush it. I read It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. This one I read for a vlog that hopefully will be out soon. I still have to read 2 books for it, but you know. This one's about Piper, who is kind of stereotypical socialite. Her stepdad is really rich, so she kind of just does whatever she wants. And then after a breakup, she decides to throw this party where breaking into a really nice hotel and trashing it, and she ends up going to jail for a night because of it. Then her stepdad decides as her punishment she has to go back to her hometown, which is like a small fishing town, in order to take care of her late father's bar. She doesn't really remember anything about her dad other than his laugh. Her and her sister Hannah end up going there, and they meet the people of Westport. One of those is Brendan, who is a grumpy fisherman. He wants nothing to do with her because he sees her as like a spoiled girl from Beverly Hills. So they try to avoid each other at all costs. But of course, they can't stay away from each other, and yeah, romance ensues, and she's kind of fighting with the fact that she'll want to go back to LA, but she really likes Brendan. Whatever. It's supposed to be like grumpy sunshine trope, but I just didn't think he was grumpy for long enough, or like that grumpy, so that was a little bit disappointing for me. Yeah, I don't know, I just really didn't love this one that much. It just was not really for me. I listened to the audiobook, so I listened to it pretty fast, but it was just like missing something. I didn't really love either of the characters. Didn't really see their connection too much. It was very insta-lovey. And I get like to a certain extent it needed to be for the plot because she's only supposed to be in Westport. Is that what it is called? In Westport for a little while. So obviously their relationship needed to move along, but I don't know, you could just feel that it was really fast. I gave this one like a 2 on Goodreads. It's probably like a 2.5 star rating. So not my favorite, but I'm glad I finally read it because this has been on my TBR since 2021, I believe. So we're breaking that down. There's a second book in this series following Piper's sister Hannah and Brendan's friend Fox, and they're a little bit more of an interesting couple to me as of what I saw in this book, but I'm not rushing to get that. I would just listen to the audiobook for that one as well. And I have a lot of books that are on my TBR, physical and non-physical, that are ahead of that. So I don't know that I'd continue this series, but hello, it is the 22nd and I finished another book. So I read Dark Corners by Megan Golden. This is technically the second book in a series, but it's a series of standalones. The first one was The Night Swim. Yeah, The Night Swim. And I think it's called the Rachel Kroll series. Could be wrong. But it follows Rachel Kroll, who is a podcaster, true crime podcaster. The first one, she's taking on a trial. This one, she is being like asked to come to this place. I think it's to meet the FBI because her name has come up. So there's a guy named Terrence Bailey who has been suspected of killing I think 6 different girls, and he's in jail for an unrelated charge. And now he is, because they haven't been able to charge him for the murders. And now he is up for parole and is about to be let out when a girl that visited him then goes missing. Her name is Madison Bailey, and so after she goes missing, the FBI asks Rachel for help in solving this, and Rachel goes and helps them. Madison was an influencer. Rachel kind of goes undercover at this influencer event where everyone's pretty cutthroat, trying to figure out what happened to Madison, but Madison doesn't seem to actually be a real person. They're coming to realization that he might help, that Terrence Bailey might have, oh, her name's Madison Logan. His name's Terrence Bailey. That Terrence Bailey might have help from someone on the outside, and that is going to put Rachel at risk. And yeah, I enjoyed this one. I thought it was a good, fun, quick read. I just listened to the audiobook and that was good. I think that's the best way to read these ones because it does have elements of Rachel's podcast in each of the, like, every few chapters is that. So I'm glad I finally read this. I'm thinking I'm gonna give it 4 stars. Just a fun, easy read. Alright, so it is the 26th and I finished 2 more books. So let's talk about them. First, I finished One of Us is Back by Karen M. McManus. This is book 3 of the One of Us is Lying series. I can't overly talk about what this one's about because obviously it's the 3rd book in the series and it kind of just gives everything away. But this is the finale to this series, which I think every book has seemed like it was going to be the finale. Like the 1st book thought it was a standalone, 2nd book, duology, 3rd book. But she says it's a trilogy. The ending is like a very well-rounded, we know where all our characters end up kind of thing. So in the first one, we have this group of high schoolers. Only a couple of them are friends. They each end up in detention. One guy named Simon Keller, I think. I don't know. Simon ends up dead. And Simon has a gossip website about their high school. And he has secrets on literally everyone. And the people that were in the library in detention with him, when he died, he has secrets on them. And so everyone thinks one of them murdered him because of that, or all of them murdered him because of that. We've kind of got like Breakfast Club vibes. We've got like the nerdy girl, the popular girl, the athlete, the bad boy. Yeah, it's just the Bayview 4 is what they get called, or like the murder club. And so they're all trying to clear their names, and their secrets are still coming out even though Simon's gone, so they know someone is still trying to get at them. So yeah, this is the 3rd book, very far from that, but I really enjoyed this and I'm glad I finally read it. I keep putting it off for some reason. I put on a bunch of different TBRs and never read it, so I'm glad that I finally did. It was really quick, it was really fun. One of the reasons I got back into reading was these books. And so it's just a reminder of that and why I love YA mysteries or mysteries in general. So this was a good read. Gave it 4 stars. I had to do an inventory shift at one of my jobs last night. And so I listened to basically the entirety of Reckless Girls by Rachel Hawkins. A couple who has like dreams of going out and traveling on their boat. They meet these 2 girls that want to go to this one specific island, and they will pay him, the boyfriend, to take them there since he has the boat to take them there. And so they all go. Then there turns out to be other people at this island. They're enjoying their time, and then suddenly it becomes clear that the group is even more cut off from civilization than they initially thought. One person goes missing and another turns up dead. The remaining friends wonder what dark currents lie beneath this impenetrable paradise and who else will be swept under its secluded chaos. This was a really quick audiobook, but it also felt like all of a sudden I like looked at my phone and I had an hour left in the audiobook, I think, out of the 7 hours, and no one had been murdered or anything. So I don't think it happens for a really long time. So I think if I would have read this, I would have been annoyed because I would have been like, okay, when's it coming? It was like a cool story. It just felt like all of a sudden everything happened at once in this really, really short amount of time. that there was so much lead up and just like everything happened at once. I don't know what I'm gonna rate this, probably 2 or 3 stars, probably like a 2.5, just because, I don't know, I didn't think it was like that amazing. I don't know if I zoned out and missed half the book, or like it just was a lot of buildup. Maybe just because I didn't connect with any of the characters, it wasn't like as jaw-dropping, or like I cared about if anyone went missing or died, to be honest. I don't know, maybe that was part of it. This was just like a meh one. I am reading this right now but this is on my September TBR, so I'm reading this early. Sorry, oops. I'm back because I forgot to film an outro for this as well. But those are all the books that I read in August. It was a really successful month. So in August, I read 8 books, which is the same that I read, I think it was in February. That was like the highest amount of books that I've read in a month this year, so it's tied. But I'm really proud of myself for reading 8 books in August. And for the most part, they're pretty good. I have some new favorites that I read this month and some meh books, but overall, I'm happy with it. Let me know down in the comments what you read in August. I keep forgetting what month it is. And if you've read any of the books that I mentioned in this video, what you thought of them. And make sure to subscribe and give this video a big thumbs up. And I will see you in my next one. Bye!